Moving on with our project, fundamental analysis, what to take into consideration when trading the currency markets. It is time to look, we are looking at the Australian economy now. It is time to end the Australian economy analysis. A lot of indicators here to look for, because the Australian economy is influenced by a lot of factors, while you are looking at the regular economic indicators like the GDP, unemployment rate, PMIs, construction services, manufacturing, or consumer sentiment index. You still have important indicators other than those to influence the economy, and these indicators are being related to the commodity prices or to factors that influence the commodity markets, because the Australian economy is influenced by everything that is happening on the commodity side of things. So looking at the CB leading index out of Australia, and the CB comes from the conference board, and the indicator shows the change in the level of a diffusion index based on other 7 different indicators related to money supply, profits, building approvals, and so on. It is a second-tier data, and low volatility levels are being expected. The most important things to take into consideration when looking at the CB leading index in Australia are the following. The release date is monthly, about 55 days after the month ends, and the release time is 0000 GMT during the Asian trading session. Low levels of volatility are being expected, and therefore this is why this one is considered to be a second-tier data. However, because it shows a change in the level of a composite index based on 7 economic indicators, because of that, it tends to have a forecasting, let's say, characteristic, and this is why traders are keen to see what consumers expect out of these indicators. The 7 indicators are related to money supply, profits, exports, building approvals, inventories, and so on, and they are designed to predict the direction of the economy. So you are taking into consideration 7 indicators designed to predict the direction of the economy, and the release is not influencing the markets normally, except when the actual is way different than the forecast. The release month again is on a monthly basis. The release date is again on the monthly basis. About 55 days after the month ends, the release time is 0000 GMT during the Asian trading session. Second-tier data, low levels of volatility expected. Looking at the past 6 months worth of data, and on the horizontal there you have values from February 2013 until July 2013, and you are looking at, for February, minus 0.1% and 0.2% with plus for March, 0.3 for April, 0.1 for May, and 0.3 for July. This was the last data we've managed to look at for June. This is the last data we managed to look for, because we didn't have the release for July. But even so, looking at this past data, we are seeing a positive trend, if I may say so, in the sense that the leading index is on the positive territory. So based on the 7 indicators that are being interpreted, this one shows a positive release when compared with February. And while we cannot draw a conclusion of a short to medium term, we are still optimistic and looking for better values for this indicator, going into July. It remains to be seen. Our next and last indicator from Australia is still a second-tier indicator, but is being called the private sector credit. Now, why the private sector credit is important, you will see on the next recording. Basically, it shows the availability or the excess the private businesses have to the credit markets to get a loan for expanding the activities, and this is extremely important not only for a particular economy, but it is extremely important in these financial crisis days we are, or years we are living, starting with 2008. The liquidity on the financial markets is thin. In order to have access to a credit line, businesses have to comply, or have to satisfy more rules than it used to be, and this is important in the sense that an increase or decrease in this indicator should be viewed as positive or negative for the whole economy, signaling the easiness, if I may say so, or how easy a business applies for and gets a credit in the private sector. But before that, let's make a synopsis for the CB leading index. The release date is on a monthly basis, about 55 days after the month ends. The release time is 0000 GMT during the Asian trading session. Second tier data, low levels of volatility expected. Stay tuned please for our next recording, private sector credit, the last one out of Australia.